You won the argument last night, every fact on your side. So why did they walk away hating you? You watched their face close like a door you'd just been shut out of. You were right, and it changed nothing. Here's the uncomfortable part. Winning the argument is usually the exact moment you lose the person. Because nobody has ever been insulted into agreeing with you, not once in the whole history of talking. We treat persuasion like a courtroom, build the case, present the evidence, wait for the verdict. But the other person isn't a jury, they're a defendant, and you just walked in as the prosecutor. The second someone feels attacked, the conversation stops being about what's true. It becomes about their pride, and pride has never once lost gracefully. So they dig in. Every good point you make, they defend harder. You're not convincing them, you're cornering them. This is the strange thing about the mind. Facts bounce clean off a person who feels judged. Watch it in your own head. Someone says you're wrong, and you feel it before you even think it. A little heat in the chest. Your brain's already writing the comeback before they finish the sentence. That heat is the whole problem. It's the part of you that guards who you think you are. Being wrong doesn't feel like a small mistake. It feels like a small attack on your identity. So we don't defend the idea, we defend ourselves, and we'll defend a bad idea to the death to do it. Which means the real skill was never making your point sharper. It's making the other person feel safe. Safe enough to change their mind without feeling like they lost. Let me show you how that actually works. Picture a disagreement you keep having. The roommate, the coworker, the group chat that never dies. You've made your case 10 times, cleaner each time, and they've moved exactly 0 inches. That's not because your logic is weak. It's because you never gave them a way to move without losing. People will accept almost anything except humiliation. Give them an exit that keeps their dignity, and they'll take it. There's an old trick that sounds completely backwards. To win someone over, don't do them a favor, ask for one. 2 centuries ago, Benjamin Franklin had a rival in the legislature who genuinely couldn't stand him. Franklin sent no gift, no flattery. He simply asked to borrow a rare book from the man's private library. The rival, oddly flattered, said yes. Franklin returned it a week later with a warm thank you note. After that, the man who despised him became a lifelong friend. Nothing else had changed, just one small favor. Here's why it works, and it's a little unsettling once you see it. The rival's brain had a problem. I just helped a man I can't stand. Why on earth would I do that? The mind hates a contradiction like that. It itches. It needs the story to make sense again. So it quietly rewrites the reason. I guess I don't really dislike him. I must actually respect him. The action came first. The feeling reshaped itself to fit. We assume our behavior follows our beliefs. Half the time, it's the reverse. We figure out what we believe by watching what we already did. That's the lever. You don't change a mind by shoving on the belief. You change the behavior around it. So, real persuasion isn't a battering ram. It's quietly handing someone a reason to persuade themselves. If that just flipped how you see every argument you've ever lost, that's exactly what this channel is for. We take one idea about how people actually work and follow it all the way down. Stick around. Now, the strangest part, the most powerful belief anyone holds is the one they said out loud themselves. Anything you tell someone, they can doubt. Anything they conclude on their own, they'll defend like scripture. So the skill quietly shifts from talking to asking, from making statements to asking sharper questions. Instead of, you're wrong about this, try, what would have to be true for that to work? Watch what happens. They start poking holes in their own idea, hunting for the answer themselves. And because the doubt came from inside their own head, it doesn't feel like an attack, it feels like thinking. You didn't push them anywhere. You held up a mirror and let them walk toward it on their own. A good negotiator almost never says, you're mistaken. They say, help me understand how you got there. It sounds like curiosity. It is curiosity. And curiosity is the one thing pride never fights back against. There's another quiet rule. Never open with the thing you disagree about. Open with what you already share. Get someone nodding early. Yeah, right, exactly. And something physical shifts in the conversation. Agreement has momentum. A mind that said yes 3 times leans almost helplessly toward a 4th. But start with the clash, and you both lock into fighting stances before a single real point gets made. Now here's where it flips, and this is the part most people get exactly backwards. The fastest way to make someone drop their guard is to say 4 words, you might be right. Or better, I could be wrong about this. Watch their shoulders come down 1/2 inch. Because now it isn't a contest. You've admitted you're human, so they don't have to pretend they're perfect. 2 people admitting they might be wrong isn't an argument anymore. It's a search. Same team, same table. Think of the last time someone genuinely changed your mind. I'd bet they didn't corner you to do it. They agreed with something first, made you feel smart, not stupid, then slipped the new idea in sideways. You didn't feel pushed. You felt like you'd thought of it yourself. That's not luck, that's craft. Underneath all of it sits one move, and it's harder than it sounds actually seeing it from their side. Not pretending to. Actually asking why a reasonable person might believe the thing you think is insane. Because they usually have a reason. It's just a reason you can't see from where you happen to be standing. Find that reason, and you stop arguing with a position and start talking to an actual person. Say your friend's about to make a choice you think is a mistake. The instinct is to list the dangers. But every danger you name, they hear as you think, I'm stupid. So they defend the choice even harder. Try the opposite. What do you like about it? Let them lay it out. Then, what's the part that worries you? Now they're the one raising the doubts. You didn't attack the plan. You made room for their own second thoughts. Here's something the courtroom model misses entirely. People don't decide with logic and feel about it after. They feel first, then go hunting for logic to back it up. The feeling drives, reason's just the passenger. So if you aim only at the facts, you're arguing with the passenger while the driver keeps rolling on. Reach the feeling underneath, the fear, the pride, the hope, and suddenly the facts have somewhere to land. And the simplest tool of all is the one nearly everyone skips, making the other person feel heard. Not waiting for your turn to talk, repeating their point back so well they say, yes, exactly that. When someone feels truly understood, they stop guarding the door. You can't reach a mind still defending itself. But there's a deeper reason all of this works, and it's the part that should change how you see people. Everyone you'll ever try to persuade is quietly asking one question: does this make me look good or foolish? Never out loud, but underneath everything, it's the current running below every disagreement you've ever had. Threaten the answer, and they'll fight you to the end, protect it, and they'll walk with you almost anywhere. That's why the winner of the argument so often loses. You proved yourself smart by proving them a fool. And no one, not once, in all of history, has ever thanked you for making them feel like a fool. So the whole game inverts. The goal was never to be the smartest person standing in the room. It's to let them keep their dignity while they quietly move to your side. You win by helping them not lose. Now, a line that matters, because these tools cut both ways. This isn't manipulation, and the difference is simple. Manipulation moves people toward what's good for you. Persuasion, done right, moves them toward what's good for them. Same tools, opposite direction. One leaves people feeling used. The other leaves them feeling respected. If you'd be ashamed to explain what you're doing, you're not persuading. You're just spinning. Don't. So here's the whole thing, small enough to actually carry into a conversation tomorrow. Before you correct anyone, find the one thing you honestly agree with and say that part first. Trade your statements for questions. Let them talk their way toward the doubt you were about to hand them. Admit out loud early that you might be wrong, so the whole thing becomes a search, not a duel. And never make them choose between agreeing with you and keeping their dignity. Always leave the third door open. Try it once this week. That conversation you keep losing, walk in with a question instead of your case. Watch how different it goes when the other person doesn't have to defend themselves just to talk to you. You'll notice something strange. The less you try to win, the more people actually start to come around. Because here's what nobody tells you. Agreement isn't something you take from people by force. It's something they hand you, the moment they stop feeling like they have to protect themselves from you. Master that, and you'll rarely need to win another argument. You'll be doing something far rarer instead. You'll change minds while leaving people feeling bigger, not smaller, for having talked to you at all. So keep the one line worth keeping. You don't win people by beating them. You win them by letting them keep face. If this reframed even one argument you're still replaying in your head, that's what this channel does every week. Subscribe, and next time we go deeper. Why the people who talk the least so often hold all the influence. Try the question instead of the case. Then come tell me how it went. See you in the next one.